Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this edition of Yorkville Sports. You're in the nest, the Eagles' nest, and I'm your host, Joe Patrick. And this is my co-host, Clark Wright. You know, he's a stranger. He hasn't been here like basically all year long, but you know what? He's in the nest today. And when we return, we're going to talk about the closeout of the season, and we're going to talk about his boys. They did something really special. 3 times a charm. We'll let you know what it is when we return.
Get your eagle on, hit a home run, run around the bases and score.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and I'm here with Coach Clark Wright. Clark, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Pumped to be on the Eagles' nest as usual.
All right,
I haven't
all right.
been back in a while. My contract ran up. Joe didn't want me to have me back, but now that we won the championship, I got re-offered, so it's good to be back.
All right. See, now he segued into it like he won the championship. But before we get started, Clark, let's just talk to us about the entire year in travel with all the teams. Just kind of, if you could briefly just sum up how you think all of our teams did. I mean, you know, you close it out.
I think there was a strong improvement this year in our travel teams. Our 8U teams both went to the playoffs in the gold bracket as I think a number 2 and number 4 overall seed. So those guys did extremely well. The 9Us, we went to the playoffs. The other 9U ended up almost 500 this year.
They improved. They have improved.
Which was a huge improvement for those guys. So that was great. The 10Us both did well. They made a strong improvement, I would say. The 10U South is always strong. 10U North under Ben and Matt also did a very nice job. 11U, they struggled a little bit. But you know what? That's a young team. And they still have some. They picked up a few stud new players this year, so we got to get them going a little bit. I think they'll be fine. 12U, from what I heard, did an excellent job. Made it to pretty deep in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Brad's team.
They went to the championship round,
Right.
And they lost that first game. They needed to win that first game in order to advance into semifinals play. So they lost, but nonetheless, you know, Brad's team. That's the team that started off this home run, this smorgasbord of home runs that we were getting from our guys this year. I mean, that team had. I'm going to say 3, 6, 9. I'm going to say that they had at least 10 home runs from their boys this year. At least. Maybe a little more, but at least 10 home runs.
There's some really good, not only baseball players, but athletes on that team.
Yeah.
2 new guys that they picked up, I believe Justin was one of them. I forget the other guy's name.
Justin Chamorro?
Yes.
Okay.
But also Chris Ling was in here yesterday doing the strength and conditioning program. Let me tell you, he's not a big guy, but he's a beast.
You know what I call
He's
him?
doing push-ups, pull-ups. Just this guy is not only a baseball player, just a pure athlete. He's a freak. What do you call him?
Bruce Lee strong. That's
Bruce
what he
Lee
is.
strong.
You know, Bruce Lee wasn't
strong.
a big guy. He was just strong on the inside. You know, he's
That inner
karate
strength.
man. He's strong on the inside.
Kid's a beast, man. I think he's going to be very, very solid as he gets older. He's already in the cage. His swing is very pure.
Nice.
You can tell his mechanics. He's been working on for a while. But he's just got it. So shout out to Chris. Good looks.
And you know, Matt Shaw also. Matty's one of the taller, the bigger guys on the team, and he stepped up. Matt hit at least 3, maybe 4 home runs this year, and none of the boys were doing that before last year. They just actually started hitting home runs out the park, and it was contagious because we had home runs not just from that 12U team. I think we had one on the 10U level. We had two on the 8U level. I mean, 8U hitting home runs. The boys coming into the gym. You know, you see them every week.
Oh, yeah.
You're at this swing outs. You're in here training. Clark is one of the gym trainers, one of the guys, the assistant director over here, running the programs of the swing outs, and he sees them every week.
Definitely, man. It's great working with these guys. To finish up the 13Us, they both also went to the playoffs. I think Greg's team did very well this year. The other 13U, led by Matt King, their 4-hole hitter and a really good pitcher. They were a new team this year, and I actually really, really enjoyed working with them. Some really nice guys on that team, putting some good work, and some funny dudes on there as well. I enjoyed working with them. So I think overall, the Eagles had a really good fall season, and in the spring, something to build on. I think they did an exceptional job.
What about the 14-year-old team? That was Anthony DeLillo's team, the very older guys, the older guys.
I'm not sure how they did, but I think they had a pretty good season as well. From what I heard, they were 9-2 at one point. So
that was good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So with all that said, when we return, we're going to talk to Clark about reaching a milestone, a pinnacle for our young players. They made it to the championship all the way there, and they slammed the door. You know what we Eagles do? We come down on you with those talents, and those talents this time, we gripped them really good. When we return, we're going to talk about the championship 9U South team.
They play this game from a very young age. They learn how to hit, catch, and throw, running faster and faster and faster. In the end, it's not that you won or lost. It's just the fact you played.
I play baseball because it's fun and I like to win.
Because it's fun and stealing bases is fun.
It's a fun and amazing and spectacular game.
Sometimes it has a lot of action. It's an athletic sport and it's fun and competitive. I play baseball because it's really fun.
That adrenaline rush you get when you make a good play, or as me as a catcher, like a play at the plate or throwing a guy out.
I play baseball because I was born in a baseball family. Just because it's a great sport. It's fun.
I play baseball because it's an amazing sport and it's extremely competitive.
It's an impossible question, but we have a lot of reasons. But one is it's really fun.
That it's fun, and that's
like the biggest reason.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you play baseball?
1, 2, 3.
Yorkville. We are sports.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and Clark, Clark, I just want to say for all of Yorkville, congratulations to you and your team, guy.
Oh, appreciate it. I think we have our biggest fan supporter right here.
That's it. That's me, man. That's
And
me. Don't bring me to tears now. Don't let me start crying.
I wish he could have been out there. I remember getting a call from him, game 2, and I couldn't pick up. It was in the middle of the game, and he was leaving me voicemails, text messages. I was like, Joe, man, just relax. We'll bring it home for you. Just be easy. I just know once we won, I had to give him a call and just let him know, and he was ecstatic. So.
Yeah, well, not only was
big-time supporter right here.
Not only was I ecstatic, I started screaming in the gym. I mean, they thought I was crazy, And the night before, I have to tell you, I don't usually interfere. And I hope I wasn't a hindrance, but I don't usually interfere with anything that's going on with the swing outs or anything. I always observe, talk to the coaches about what I see, anything that's going to help the boys. But I felt compelled to kind of interject myself into their final, when they, their closeout, Yorkville on 3, 1, 2, 3. So before they even got to that point, right, I stole Clark's thunder. And I just had to remind the boys that, we were there twice before. The boys went into the last 2 seasons leading. They were in first place, got knocked out in the first round. Second time in first place, knocked out in the first round. And I just wanted them to know that this is the time that you're not going to steal our thunder. We're going to bring it home, aren't we, boys? And they rallied behind themselves. And, you know, when they walked out of here, I was more nervous than they were for the entire night. I couldn't sleep, really. I got up at like so early in the morning. I got to the gym real early, and I never really do that, but I got to the gym really early with a nervous stomach. I didn't know what it was. And then 12 o'clock comes. I text Clark. I don't get a text back. All right. Then I call him. He's not picking up his phone. And then I'm worried now, and I'm walking around pacing in the gym. I don't know why I'm doing this. And then he texted me and he said that they won, and I just kind of broke down, man. I have to tell you, I mean, grown men cry on the inside. But I dropped some tears that day. But anyway, enough said here with my mouth. Clark, tell me all about it. I mean, third time is a charm. Tell me what it was like leading up to the championship, knowing that you dropped it twice before.
So we had been the number 1 or number 2 seed the past 2 seasons. And when we got to the playoffs, our first time, we had never been in that situation before. And I could tell the boys were kind of nervous. And to be honest, you know, I've coached before, but I've never taken a team as far as we did as that number 1 seed. So I was a little bit nervous as well, so maybe my body language wasn't as strong as it should have been. Because, you know, new situations, it'll do that to you sometimes. But so first time we were in the playoffs, we lost, and the boys were very upset. That was last year's fall season. In the springtime, we had that playoff experience, and I was like, you know, we got this. I thought we really had it, and this Spartans team took advantage of a few errors of ours, and they beat us. So after that second time, man, the boys were ready at that point, and you could just tell how upset that they were not to have finally finished in that spring season. So Coach Nick and I's goal, we really wanted to get these guys a championship, whether it was this year in the fall or in the spring, hopefully both. But the boys were ready. You could tell they weren't anxious, they weren't nervous. Joe had reminded them what had happened. Sometimes I don't really like to bring up the past, but Joe reminded us in a very positive way what had happened before, and that we got to step over that boulder that was kind of hindering us and just get out there and play ball. And game 1, we really did that. Theo got on the mound game 1. It's our lefty, Theo King, who threw 3 innings and threw exceptional ball.
And you don't usually hold your thought. You don't usually start Theo in game 1. Don't you usually start? Sam usually starts.
We had a different strategy. Because,
okay. Tell us about that strategy.
Well, Theo throws consistent strikes. So we had beaten this team before. The team is called Hillcrest, and originally they were the first place team. They were 7-0, and then we went down to their field and beat them twice. So we retook first place. So we've seen this team twice before and beat them. However, this team had 2 very strong pitchers that threw hard. So I knew our boys could hit it, but we couldn't allow to give up any walks or a lot of steals and whatnot. So I wanted Theo out there to throw game 1 because he's a very consistent player. And I wanted Sam, hopefully if we were to win that first game, to go out and throw that second game because he throws hard and he's aggressive. And I know that Woodland team, they were 16-0 when we were going to play them. So I was like, you know, these guys can probably hit, and if Sam's on, that's a pitcher that's going to shut him down. So both very strong pitchers, just a little bit 2 different aspects of the game. Okay. I would say Theo is more of like an Andy Pettit, consistent strikes, you know, heads in the game. Sam, he just throws harder, a little bit more wild sometimes, which can be effective in some ways to back the guys off the plate and get them a little scared in the box. But both guys threw very, very well. What was even more impressive at some point, our first game, James came in. James Winston, he relieved game 1. threw 3 innings, locked the door on Hillcrest. He threw exceptionally well. His mechanics, I'd never seen so smooth that game. It was like he was just out there scrimmaging, having a good time. And mechanics were on. He was spotting up left and right, and he did an amazing job that first game.
Okay. And then tell me, now let's stay on game 1
Right.
before we go into game 2, the championship game, because they only played 2 games. Game 1, how did your hitting go? Who actually stood out for you as far as hitting? I mean, the whole team, it's a team effort. I always say that baseball is a game that's played by a team and not by one individual. So,
Right.
so it was an overall team effort. But how did the boys hit in game 1? How did they do? Because I know game 2 was a little tougher, but how
Right.
did they hit in game 1?
Oh, well, game 1, their starting pitcher was throwing pretty hard. He was throwing some Chet out there. And he was actually spotting up in and out, so our boys are having trouble. Usually after we see a pitcher one time, when we see him that second time, we're going to do our best to really pounce on them. A few guys really showed up big time. Zak Newman.
Okay.
He was taking serious hacks in there. He went up there fearless. I told him to just be smart, attack the ball, and he was hitting foul balls right off the top of the bat, line drives to the back of the cage, and then he finally made contact with one, just ripped one.
Nice. Nice.
He did.
Go Zach.
Yeah, man. He did an excellent job, but everybody was contributing, man. People were moving runners over.
Stealing bases? Any?
Justin was stealing bases.
Just a good run.
I would put him up as probably the fastest player in the league.
Really?
Yeah, by far in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, and he's our leadoff hitter.
Justin can run?
Justin Gershon, yeah, he's a beast on the base pass, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you know what? It ain't hard to tell because that's not a word. It's not hard to tell. When they're taking practice and they're running around the gym, he's beating everybody around. I have to slow the guys down.
Yeah.
Guys, it's not a race. Just slow down. Yeah, okay, so Justin can get it in there.
Yeah. Also, Zach Kimmelman, another guy that can really run.
Okay.
Eric Otterburn, James Winston. These are 4 guys that I would put up against a lot of other kids speed-wise. So we were extremely aggressive on the base pass. So.
Okay, so now, everybody wants to know, take us through game 2, the actual championship game. What was it like? What was the feel around the dugout, the parents? What did you sense? I mean, because this has got to be something. Remember, they never made it this far. And there's one thing I have to say about this 9U team. These guys have stuck together thick and thin from day one. When they were, before Clark and Nick Hazenberg, the big sexy, hey sexy, before they took over the team, they had a losing season. Their first time out the box, they didn't do well at all. Clark and Nick came over and gave them a team mentality. Like, we are a team. We're going to win as a team. We're going to lose as a team. But whatever we do, we're going to do it as a team. And they grew together. But again, this team has stuck together from top to bottom. And it's not just the players, it's the parents. You have some of the best parents of any Yorkville travel program. And don't get me wrong, Yorkville out there, I don't favor one team over the other or one program, baseball, football, basketball over the other, but I see these guys more, and they're just a good bunch of parents, and they're behind their kids, win, lose, or draw. I mean, they never get down. They're excited about the team, and they care about them so much that it's almost like they're a team amongst themselves. I've even seen some of them get a little testy with each other, little arguments about fundamentals and so on. So again, let me dial it back. Tell us, what was it like going through that the lead up to the game? How were the parents? How were the kids? The psyches? Because I got something to tell you about little Jesse Bash, but something I saw in the video with Jesse Bash. But how were
the atmosphere was great out there.
Okay.
We had a nice sunny day. We weren't freezing out there. It was definitely baseball weather. And I just sensed that the boys were ready. If they were to go out there and win, awesome. If they were going to go out there and lose, all I noticed is that they're going to put their best foot forward and put their full effort into it. And whether they're, I told them whether you're going to be on the bench or whether you're at shortstop, left field, or on the mound, like, you got to just stay in the game 100%, which at this age can be tough for these guys to do, but they absolutely did that, and that just shows that they've become not only better baseball players, better teammates. They're more mentally strong. Because staying in a game for 2.5 hours, it's tough. It's tough if you're on the bench sometimes, but I said it doesn't matter. You got to support one another all the time. And going into that game, these boys were ready. They were pumped up. I didn't have to fire them up. They were just ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now the game starts. Now, what was the final score?
Final score was 8-3, but we went to extra innings.
All right.
So it was 3-3 towards the end of the game, but they were up actually 2-0 for the first 3 innings. So
were the guys nervous, or did
They
you?
were.
They were nervous.
they were I mean, in any situation, nobody's going to tell you, no, we weren't nervous. We're going to win the game no matter what. That's what you want to say, but
Right.
man, baseball, it's a nervy game, man. And deep down, you're like, we're going to get through this. But right now, we're down. We got to keep hitting the ball hard, putting it into play, and work together. But baseball game's a nervy game. It can get to you sometimes. But as long as you stay positive, keep going, and work together, you'll be all right.
Right.
That's what they did. So I was proud of them.
Okay. So now you go into. At what point did you decide to bring Zak Newman in to pitch?
Okay, so Sam pitched 3 innings, did an awesome job. Gave up 2 runs, but our defense wasn't spot on. Sam pitched a very, very nice game.
Okay.
He got squeezed on a few calls. Liam set out outside, threw a strike, literally perfect outside corner on the black. Didn't get the call. So I think that walked in 1 run. So that wasn't his fault. But there were several times where bases were loaded with 1 out, no out. So it was kind of nerve-wracking. But we were able to get out of those innings
Nice.
without giving up runs. There was a ball hit back to Sam. He came home to Liam. And I actually think he did that twice. So that was huge.
Oh, stop the tag out.
Right,
It was
force
a force.
out.
Oh,
Force
it was a
out.
force out. So bases
Yeah.
were loaded.
Bases were loaded several times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, and just for him to induce the hit back to him. I mean, he didn't hit it to shortstop or
Right.
first base because throwing the ball from one of the positions opposed to back from the pitcher, it's a longer throw.
Right. He
So,
blocked it up, made the throw home. So
Nice.
Perfect
Good-
job
good
from
pitching.
him. Yeah.
All right. So then, was the game still tied when Zach came in?
Okay, so Sam pitched 3. Then we had Zach Kimmelman come in.
Oh, okay.
He's our lefty kind of specialist.
Okay.
And, man, he was lights out.
Zach
Shout out to Zach.
Kimmelman.
Through 3 innings, not 1 hit.
Wow.
He didn't give up a hit.
Wow. So
he works fast. You know how some pitchers can take their time? He's up there, gets the ball, and he wants to zoom it right back in. Sometimes the fielders weren't ready. I was like, Zach, you're in a good groove, but slow it down just a little bit.
Nice.
But man, he's got a little natural run on his ball, and he's an excellent pitcher.
So Zach, we can contribute Zach for holding down the fort,
big time.
letting the team eke out those runs to get
Yep.
back in the game and tie it up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
he
Zach,
he did an awesome
give you some
job.
credit for that one, Zach.
Yeah.
I mean that you held it together. You held it together with sometimes things fall apart when you're down going into the late innings, and So what inning did you actually come back in? Because I know you were.
Yeah, we were away. They had won the coin toss, so we were away. So we came back. The top of the 6th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top of the 6th.
That means they were looking at three outs, and they would have had the championship.
Right. I believe it was top 6. It was either top 5 or 6. Mike Kolodny smoked a ball to score a run in. Alex Petrosky also smoked a ball to right field for a triple.
Nice.
But the thing was, we had runners at third base, and a lot of kids will overswing to get those guys in. We were putting the ball into second base. We're being very smart baseball-wise, just to bring runs in. They didn't have the mentality, let me put all this pressure on myself. No, they went opposite field, brought the runner in. They were out at first, but they were producing RBIs.
Nice.
So Sam had a huge hit. Mike Kalani, huge hit. Jesse actually had a nice hit to left. He did a very nice job there. I mentioned Sam. Who else? Alex Petrosky, huge hit. Theo was another guy that was putting the ball into play.
Nice. Go Theo.
Had several RBIs. Everybody produced, man, from top to bottom. Another shout-out I got to give to Liam. There was a play right in front of the plate. This was the most pro play, we call it, that I've seen in a long time from a 9-year-old. Takes his time, flips the mask off, sets his feet, and throws a strike over to first for a huge second out in the inning. And from there, we had all the momentum. When you make plays like that and you hit the ball hard, you got all the momentum. Especially in baseball, it's very huge.
Nice.
So
All right.
they did an awesome job.
All right, so the game's tied now. Game's tied. That one inning. You're going into extra innings now. So you brought Zach in for that seventh inning?
Yeah, so the top of the seventh, we had a huge inning. We scored 5 runs.
Wow, 5 runs. Big guys. Big dogs.
Yeah.
Big dogs.
And you could tell the other team was losing their composure. They didn't want to throw strikes to us anymore. They had trouble getting the ball across the plate, and we were just capitalizing. Once again, very aggressive on the base pass. Mike Kalani had a slide into home. Very clean slide, but it took the catcher. He dropped the ball because he was a little bit afraid of Mike. Mike's got a little football mentality out there sometimes.
That's great. That's what you have to have, though. You coming home, the catcher is saying,
You went in there
this
hard,
base is
man.
mine, and you're going home,
You
no,
went in there
it's
hard.
my base. And
Yep.
that's it. Take him
So,
out.
You know, my dad always told me his big thing is just to make it happen. Whatever it is in life, make it happen. Mike Kalani is one guy that makes it happen, man. He's a guy that you put on a certain task, he's going to do his best to get the job done. So,
That's it. In
shout
other
out
words,
to Mikey. Very nice job.
Mike, this is what I say. Don't talk about it, be about it. You were about it.
Right
there
on.
you go.
Right
Mike
on.
Kalani. There you go.
Absolutely.
Mike.
So then, bottom of the 7th, we had already used some of our best pitchers, but Zak Newman's a guy that comes in here and works extremely hard, throws a lot of bullpens with me, works with Jamie, and I was like, all right, Zach, this is your time to shine, man. Brought him in.
Oh, gosh, Zach.
Brought him in, but you could tell he had some jitters out there at first.
And you know what? Zach is going to be here with us tomorrow. He's coming in tomorrow. I think the boys are all out at Justin's birthday party. So happy birthday, Justin, belated. Happy birthday to you. I think Zach, maybe we'll get some of the other guys in, but Zach is going to come in and talk to us tomorrow.
Awesome.
And I know if there's one thing I have to say about Zach, Zach is a baseball man. He lives and breathes baseball. From the time Zach came to us as one of our after school boys. He was in our after school program. You know, we pick the kids up from school and bring them to the baseball academy. They spend 2 hours learning about baseball, playing and having fun here in the gym. And Clark, I have to say that perhaps that was one of Clark's discoveries. Clark said, "Hey, look, why don't you come play for me?" And he did, and he tried out. Remember, you got to try out, and he made the team.
And Zach, like Joe said, was in our after-school program, and I saw him in the cage, and he was only probably late 7, maybe
like
8
that.
at this time, not even. Probably just turning 8 because he's younger for the team. But he was just raking in the cage. I was like, "Hey man, would you like to come play for the travel team?" And I called up his dad, Al. And Al was very, very stoked. He's like, "Yeah, we've been wanting to do that for a long time."
Nice.
So we took him out of after school, took him from the D League, put him on our team. He had to work himself up, and he's become a 5 or 6 hole hitter on our team, one of the best hitters on our team. And came in bottom of the 7th, came in, walked the first guy. I could tell he was overthrowing. So I went out there, I talked to him, I was like, "Zach, deep breath. Just throw like you normally do in your bullpens and whatnot." He came in there, K'd one guy,
So he struck out one,
He was
okay.
just throwing hard, throwing strikes, and, once he got that first out, he was very confident. You could tell, he was more loose. But Zach can be a little dramatic on the mound. He's out there praying. He's getting down sometimes, and you could tell he's, like, talking to himself. I was like, "Zach, just calm down, throw strikes." So that's what he did.
That's my guy, Zach.
man, he deserved it. Came in and got the save.
Okay.
And great job, Zach.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, and we have some footage. Zach's dad sent us in at least some footage of the final out, and then your cheer at the end of the game. But take us through what was going through your mind. The leg comes up. Zach throws the ball. He gets the batter to hit the ball where he wanted the ball to go.
Play. Good point, man.
Right, he threw the right pitch. Right, the ball went where we wanted it to go. Second baseman misses the play. He wasn't in the right position. It didn't look like it, and the ball gets past him. Center fielder Sam is playing center field, backs it up. Take me through it.
Man, so Zach had a great pitch, outside corner, and the guy went with it. The same guy that he had walked was still on first base because leaning behind the dish, he's a beast, blocks everything up and hoses people out. Ball hit to Sam, very heads-up play, grabs it. Justin's there for the stretch, beat him by maybe this much. That was it. Won the ship right there.
Unbelievable.
So Sam had an excellent play. Threw it right to Justin.
And it didn't help.
Couldn't have executed it any better.
And it helps that Sam is a pitcher too.
Oh, Sam has one of the strongest arms.
Yeah,
on the team.
so he
Absolutely.
threw a strike. He threw a strike to second base. Game over. Boys are celebrating. They're falling all over the place. They're on the mound. All right, they do their shake hands. But this is the one that got me, right? Jesse Bash. It's a small bit of the clip. You look at it, right? Jesse Bash, after you guys do the champs, and they throw their hands up, Jesse's going like this.
I saw that, actually, yeah.
Jesse was like, oh, my God.
I saw that.
We're champions. It was the look on his face only... we vicariously live our lives through our children, and remembering when we were children too. I played sports all my life, my young life. We never won a championship. I was on some good teams, but we never won a championship. So I didn't experience what it was like to reach that pinnacle at that younger age. And these boys, 9 years old, 9U South, these boys actually did it. So, I have to say, I really have to say, I know we went long, ladies and gentlemen. I know we went long, but I have to say, Clark, on behalf of me and the rest of Yorkville out there, man, I want to congratulate you again for doing something that has not, we don't have too many championships here at Yorkville, but you have one. And that 9U team and their families, all of them, have that championship and forever will go down in the annals of Yorkville lore as being one of the first and one of the youngest teams to ever bring home a championship, along with that 8U team that won that tournament last year that just shocked the world. But you guys are amongst the best, and we appreciate you.
They worked very hard for it. We pushed them. Even with strength and conditioning, these guys, when they were doing practice, they were taking it seriously. They've got the talent to do it, as we can see. We've got an excellent infield, excellent outfield. Everybody on the team is a very solid player, and I'm lucky for that. And Nick is a great assistant coach. We work, I think, very well together. We got a good support from the parents. And I love working with these guys. They're great kids. So.
All right. Well, that's Clark Wright. Clark Wright's the championship coach of the 9U South team, and Clark's going to bring that. I hear the whole team is coming back for next year, so these guys are stepping up. So now they're 10Us now, right?
They'll be 10Us.
They'll be 10Us. They're moving up.
Yeah.
They're moving up. So you 10U guys out there, watch out. We got a couple of mercies coming at you. Remember, we're Eagles, and what Eagles do, we come down on you with our talents, and we grab you, and we grab whole teams by the talents, and we shake them around, and we shake things up to bring about the best program that New York City, the Upper East Side, or anywhere in New York City can find here at the Yorkville Youth Athletic Association and the Yorkville Baseball Academy. So when we return, we're gonna. I know it's long. We're going long, but this is a special, and that's what we do. We're gonna have young Zak in here. Actually, he's coming in tomorrow. He won't be here today, but Zak will be in here tomorrow. We'll edit this all up and we'll get it out to you guys. So again, thanks for watching. I'm Joe. That's Clark. We'll see you next time.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Joe Patrick because this is the enthusiasm that we run off of. He brings a positive energy that is not only important in baseball but in life. So shout out to Big Joe right here. He's a beast.
All right. Well, there you go. No kudos for me. It's really the guys. But we'll see you in a minute.
You ready, Mace? Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to. Yeah. What you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and lift it up, ride through, take a truck, beach all with it up. Jig with a cut, ship Chris with it up. Hoes riding, till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, get this man room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Cancun. Why you stand on the wall? Hand on your lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. Dresses, I suppose, and my neck full of gold. Neck full of gold. Gas in my road. By the heat, get a key to the next Come on. Bad boy. Yeah. You make me feel so good. Bad boy. You make me feel so good. Yeah. You know you make me feel so good. That's what we do. Bad Come on. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. That's what we do. Yeah. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. Come on. I wouldn't change you if I could. Dumae's got the ladies. Do Puff drive Mercedes. Take hits from the 80s. But do it sound so crazy? With me personally, it's nothing personal. I do what work for me, you do what work for you. And I dress with what I was blessed with. Never been arrested for nothing domestic. And I chill the way you met me. With a jet ski, attached to a SC. Smoke my Nestle, no mad rap, ass cat, where my check be. Problem with y'all, I said directly. Went from hard to sweet, start to eat. From no holding shows to menage a suite. Now I be the cat that be hard to meet. Getting head from girls that used to hardly speak. Come on. Yeah. You make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. Bad boy. That's what we do. Bad boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. Come on. I wouldn't change you if I could. Let's go. Bad boy. You make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. Come on. Don't stop. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could.
That's sitting on video.
We got it all.
Awesome job. Bring it in. Good job.
Alright. See you next year on 3.
Champs on 3.
Wait,
Champs
what do we
on
win?
3.
What do we win?
Just
Out.
sign up.
Champs on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Champs! Do that, boy!
You did it, you magnificent bastard!
Here we go, TK.
Wait, what do we win?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and as promised, we have two of the, I'm going to say they're the world champions, city champion, 9U South players. We have James Winston over here and Zak Newman over there on the end. Boys, say hello to Yorkville.
Sup, Yorkville?
All right, all right, all right.
TV. No, we're not.
You know, I've got to say that it's a bittersweet time because the season is over, and I'm not going to get a chance to talk much about it. But you know what's so sweet? We finally brought home the chip.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, 3 times is a charm for you guys.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so now tell me, James, how long have you been with the team? Have you been with the team since it started?
In 8U fall.
8U fall. Oh, so you started with Coach Clark.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't play with the team prior to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Me and James started in the same season.
And you know what's so interesting? Zach was a part of our after school program.
That's how I got here.
Yeah, I know. And so Zach, tell me, what was it like? You know, you started in after school. Did you actually dream about playing travel baseball? Maybe not for us, but did you aspire really to play travel baseball?
I was in D-League at the time, and that was my main priority, getting to travel, but I didn't think it would be through the after-school program that it would be the time. But I guess Clark was
All right. Well,
impressed.
we were all impressed with you watching that big stick of yours inside. I think you were just turning 8, and you might have been
Yes.
7 years old.
I was.
And for a 7-year-old to swing the bat the way you did, that was impressive. It was very amazing. So now, how did you get to the travel program? How did you wind up with the travel team?
After the rec league, I went to Randall's Island to try out, and I made it.
Okay. So you wanted to play baseball too. I mean, that was were you thinking about that Eagle thing? You were thinking about the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it was the
right.
only-
So anyway, now we have some history. We have to take care of a couple of things. So Zach, I want to start with you. You can talk about the first season, and James, you can talk about the second. That fall, you guys started off pretty slow, and then
Which fall? The first one? or
the first fall, you started off pretty slow. I think you lost maybe your first 2 or 3 games.
And then we won 13.
And then you just strung along that crazy amount of wins.
And then we just won 13, no big deal.
Yeah, there you go. But tell me, how did it feel going into that final week when you were going into the playoffs? And then you lost that game. So tell me, what was it like for your team?
In the playoffs of our first season, it was very like the usual, the nerve-wracking and the everything that normally.
All right.
feel.
But tell me, that was your first time out the gate,
Yes.
right? So were you nervous? Was the team overall nervous about trying to get it done?
Some players who have been there from earlier in the season, not too much, but for like me, Will, and James, who had just joined that season, we were very nervous. But probably the newer kids were more nervous than the kids who have been there.
All right. So now, putting that aside, you go into the game. You lost. Was it a big loss? Or did you lose by a lot of runs?
Yeah. No, I think we lost by 9-12.
9-12. So you
No,
did
it was-
score some runs. Was it on
Yeah.
defense?
No, wait, it was 14-4.
14. Yeah, we lost 10. That's
14-4. That was a big loss. That was a big
Yeah.
loss. So now, after the game, how did you feel? Was that that kind of hurt a little bit, right?
yeah. Well, I know it was our first season, so it was easy to take in. But then second season, not too much, and
All right.
then that.
So, if you can remember, what did you focus on? What was your mind focused on after that loss? Did you think about, I want to come back here and do this again?
Yeah, definitely.
The focus was becoming a champion.
The freak has spoken.
No, that's John Hampath Rodriguez. I don't know. He pops in and out. I don't know. He's like a genie. He just pops in and out of here every now and then. So, did you say to yourself that you were gonna, next year we're gonna do this again? Did you? Some people get discouraged. You didn't seem like you got too discouraged because I saw you, and I asked you about it, and I remember you saying, "Oh, we'll get him next year." Good attitude to have.
I just felt like we're a good enough team to do it. Why aren't we doing it? So let's work harder and actually do it. That was my mindset.
All right, and you actually did. One thing I do have to say, your dad brings you into the gym. You take lessons all the time. You guys are working on your chops. So it seems like you really dedicated that next season or that pre-spring training. You dedicated yourself to trying to get better, and you did.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. All right. So, James, now you take me through this second season. Here we go. You had a pretty good season again.
Yeah, we were undefeated until like the last week of the regular season. Just one loss.
Yeah, 12-1-1.
Okay. And that one loss, so you went in there on a high note. You kind of figured, okay, we lost the first season, that fall. It's spring now. We're going to get it done.
Yeah.
All right. So do you remember anything about the game?
In the playoff game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually thought we had it won. Like, we were winning 2-1 in the third inning. I thought we were going to win, but then errors just happened.
And
right?
also, the rules in our league is basically you have to have, there's a fourth outfielder.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that play.
and we would have had a 3-run lead if that fourth outfielder rule was not applied or we had less players.
I got a hit into center field, and then Mike, I think it was, running to second base, he got thrown out.
Oh, by that extra outfielder.
fourth outfielder.
Okay, so they were able to they gunned you down. That's what happened. He just didn't make it. He just didn't. Tell me something. I hear you're one of the fastest guys on the team, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Once he stole third on a pitch inside.
Oh, I once, in this championship, I pulled an A-Rod. Like, I kicked the ball out of the guy's glove.
Oh, Clark said something about that.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I did the A-Rod.
No, I kicked the ball out of the guy's glove.
What, did both of you kick? Only one of you could have kicked the ball. Now, all right, which one of you did it?
Okay, the story is he kicked the ball, but then I was running to third base.
I was stealing.
He was stealing. I was running to third base, and my arm came up, and I swiped down at the ball in his hand, and it dropped, even though I didn't swipe. So that's the story.
So now, let me just say, that you could have been called out on interference.
No,
he was in the baseline. He fielded it.
Oh, okay.
The person
He fielded it and then got into his power position in the baseline.
No, but who would have got thrown out is Mike. He tackled the shortstop at second base.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we do have a tackle football program, so maybe Mike, tackle football. The season's over, but we'll be looking for you tackle football next year.
Linebacker.
All right, so now finish up with that second season, so you go in, you were actually ahead. And
Yeah, and then 3 errors in 1 inning when I was pitching.
Okay.
I only gave up 2 hits, but then I got 2 guys out, and then there were 3 errors that scored 3 runs. And in the last inning, we got the game to 4-3, and then
Jesse
we lost.
stepped up.
He stepped
the
up.
end of the game was Jesse stepped up, 2 outs,
He
bases
got-
loaded, we're down 1. It's a 2-2 count, and he pops it up to the shortstop.
Well, it was actually a good
End
hit.
of game.
It was near the outfield grass, but
I know, but it was a little pop up to short. Game over. We lost.
So, we don't want to get down on young Jess. I mean, because remember, this
not his
is
fault.
It's
This
fine.
this is a
He
team
had a monster
sport.
season this year, too.
But remember, guys, it's a team sport. We win and we lose as a team, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so
It's nobody's fault.
There you go. We're a team, right? We're Eagles.
Yeah.
You know what we Eagles do, right? We come down and cramp down on people like that. So anyway, boys, now it's the you have a good summer. I remember you guys getting back here in September, and I noticed that there was a different look about all of you. And one, after not seeing the boys over the summer, they
I
grew.
gained some weight.
Zach bulked up. Some boys got taller. And I noticed that you all got stronger. It
Yes,
seems
that's why
like
I have weights at home.
your game, your baseball awareness, you got better at everything. It seems like you were a little bit more sharp about the things that you said. the way you looked in the gym. You started pitching a little more. You started throwing a little harder. James, I know you started throwing the ball. So what was it like getting prepared for this season?
It was a lot of baseball in summer.
And a lot of running if we messed up. A lot.
A brief, I had Yankee camp, then I had Hofstra, and then I rested basically for the rest
I think I remember. I think I received a couple of pictures from you guys from Hofstra. I think so. You played in the Hofstra League. We did see a couple of them. Maybe we're going to pull a couple of those up here in a minute. We'll pull those up and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Okay?
And while I was in the summer, I was in the Dominican Republic.
In the DR.
Oh, check you out. He takes the season off, goes to DR, slaps it around, fun and sunny. He was drinking coconut, coconut shakes and all kind of stuff like that. Yeah, so that's what you did, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, no problem. So now, I know that you guys have been swinging with John Handpath Rodriguez.
Oh, yes.
Tell me something. Has he, and we don't have to be politically correct here. We're not trying to put him on blast. Yes, we are.
I'm never correct, but okay.
How has that impacted your game?
The lessons with John Handpath Rodriguez?
Yeah.
It really helps knowing that there's a former major leaguer that can just help you with basically almost anything. It really gives you courage, and also it helps you, like they say, practice makes perfect, and if you work with him, you're almost going to become that perfect that you always want.
Okay, he used an interesting word. He said courage. You remember the lion in The Wizard of Oz, right? He needed courage. That's what the lion needed, and Zach got a lot of courage. So tell me, James, what about you? How has training been leading up to this season?
Well, with the genie, J-Rod, Handpath Rodriguez, something that he helped me with was the loading.
Okay.
Like getting a better load, and that actually really helped me.
Okay.
A lot.
He also taught me how to go opposite field, which I almost never.
Well, you know what? Hitting in the opposite field, that's what you really want to do, especially when you have runners on base. And he told me that you boys did well to hit the ball to second base towards in between first and second base with a runner on third with less than 2 outs. So that means even though some of you made outs at first, you were able to drive that run home. RBI scores runs. So did that help?
Yeah. I mean, I get most of my hits opposite field.
Okay.
He taught me how to hit 500 on the season.
No, Zach,
which I did.
Remember that first game of this season when I hit the ball past the second baseman and past both outfielders?
Oh, yes. You rounded every base.
All right, now, the season starts.
Yeah.
I think you started on a high. You guys put together. You strung along a couple of wins early in the season, didn't you?
This season?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
It was really a 3-1.
It was a 3-1 because the first game of the season, out of the doubleheader on the first day, we won. We crushed them like 16-6 or something like that.
No, 16-0.
How do you know these things?
16-0? Was it a mercy?
Yes.
What? Again, you hear that word? For next year, remember, it's the hospital in Long Island. Yeah. We send you there first. It's called Mercy Hospital. So teams, think about it. When you see the Eagles, think about Mercy Hospital because you have to go there first before you make it to the field. All right? Yes. Mercy Hospital or we mercy you. One or the other. You take your pick.
And we'll give you a discount.
40% off.
40% off. 40% off. All right, so now you started off. You started pretty good, 3-1-1.
Yeah, well, we won the first game of the season. We lost the second, and then we won both games on the second week.
Okay.
No, we tied the 9-inning game. Remember that?
Yeah. I think that might have been later on the season.
But guys, with all that winning that you were doing, you weren't in first place until maybe the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
so what was it like overtaking the first place team? From what I understand, you took a double header from these guys on their home field.
Yeah, it was just it felt good to know that you just beat the first place team and you came back from fourth place to first. So
Wow.
I want to
So
get James's opinion on that. But
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't that hard beating them.
It wasn't that hard.
yeah, everybody swung at everything.
It was like 12-4 the first game,
Oh,
then
yeah.
8-3 the second game. I don't know how we gave them 3 runs.
Well, you segue into my next. How, Clark, I know you're looking at this. Remember what I told you? Why do you 3 runs? We don't give up any runs when we want to mercy somebody. Remember that, Clark. No more runs, right?
Actually, we mercied somebody giving up runs one time.
I don't understand that. Explain.
it
You
was
mercied
17
somebody giving up runs?
Our team gave up runs, yet we still mercied them.
It was 17-1.
It was the 5th inning, and it was 7, and it's 12, and you have to be down by 12 for it to be a mercy.
Okay.
If it's not the 6th inning, and we were up by 10,
Yeah.
and then I came in and I hit a double, 2 RBI double,
Oh.
and we mercied them.
Okay.
And everybody walked off the field, and we were jumping up and down.
No,
He's not only a fan, he's his biggest critic too, I mean, he's his own fan. I mean, gosh, this guy has statistics in his brain. I have to tell you, remember, Zach, this guy eats, sleeps, and lives baseball. He used to come to the baseball academy at after school with baseball cards, trying to peddle them on the bus.
Oh, that is true.
He was trading, peddling the things on the bus. I had to say, hey, what kind of gambling, or what are you guys doing on my bus? And he was like, But anyway, all right. So now we.
but I want to talk about the first.
Okay.
Against the first place team.
All right.
We were
Oh,
against
we
Hillcrest.
don't want to lose that. Okay.
I just barely missed a home run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Clark stopped me, even though the ball was still in the outfield. He stopped me at third base. The ball was in the outfield.
Why?
Because
I don't
Clark is
know.
Clark.
Clark is. Whoa. Let me-
Like a million times before, I've hit a bomb, and I've gone to third, and he's held me up.
Well, was it that you were winning the game already?
We were winning 3-1.
Oh,
Every
was
single
it that
time,
maybe he didn't want to show up the other team? I don't know. What
every
3-1.
time that I've hit one of those, we've been up by at least 10.
All right, so let me ask you something then. Let me ask you. If he held you up at third base, is it that you were running like the tortoise or the hare? Which one was it?
Do you know the difference?
Yes, I do. I'm
When you
in
look-
between. I'm a Brian McCann. I'm that slow.
Well, maybe he held you up right. I mean, he didn't want you to get gunned down at the plate, so
If Brian McCann is watching this, no offense.
Hey, Brian, you know what that means? You got to come into the baseball academy and get your cardio and all that training on. We got to work you out over here because we teach guys how to run. Speedy Gonzalez over here, the Tasmanian Devil. So
And then there's me.
and then there's Zach. All right, so now we're in first place.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
Yes, of course.
We're coming into that last week. What were you thinking about at the beginning of the week? Now, we haven't reached Friday yet, so you haven't come to swing outs. I don't know if any one of you guys
What
had
I
any
was-
individual lessons that week, but what were you thinking about going into the championship weekend?
I was kind of thinking having fun would be my first, winning would be second, and then personal stats would be third. But also,
The stats.
that's stats still. But almost up top would be we're boss, we're gonna win. That was my.
All right, James, tell me, what were you thinking about?
Oh, I was just celebrating. I could barely fall asleep. I was just rolling around my bed.
I'm with you, bro.
See, as I said, that Friday going into Saturday, I didn't sleep a wink. At least I don't think I did. I don't think I've slept all week anyway. That's why I'm so tired right now.
Neither is my
drinking
father.
caffeine.
No, and I've
right.
also been working on different pitches that
Okay.
I'm throwing.
Yeah, he's throwing a sidearm sinker.
No, not a sidearm.
Now, tell me, did you boys know that you were going to pitch?
No.
You know
Yeah,
you
I
were going to
think
pitch?
I did.
When Clark told me to start warming up, I thought, well, since
Yeah, I was
we're
gonna be pitching.
in this team, we're not gonna need me. but we did.
Well, it was gonna be
and
me,
It
but
was
then
gonna
I-
be James pitching in the second. It was
Okay.
gonna be James pitching in the second
First
game.
and second.
Um,
But then I hurt my arm.
but then he had a sore arm, and I was in
So Megatron, excuse me,
Nest?
Megatron, you get sore arms?
yeah.
a lot,
You do?
a lot.
Really? Sore arm? I didn't think a machine like this could get sore. Maybe some oil. You know, we can slide some
Yeah.
oil. We'll do something like
Well, I
that.
was the next best choice.
Okay, now Friday comes.
Oh yes.
You boys roll in.
Yes.
Everybody's smiling, smiles on the
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
You're in there, you're swinging out. You
Hitting
guys
bombs.
just seem to be really, really loose. It didn't seem like you guys had a worry in the world, right? So now you get together, we do the little pep rally at the end,
Yeah.
and you go home. Did you sleep that night?
No.
What about you, James?
What did I just tell you?
Okay, you just remembered. He didn't sleep. Okay, we're at the park now.
Oh God.
Here it is. We're at the park. You guys come out. What position did you play in the first game?
First game I played well, for the entire game I played almost every single third base. Third base and bench were the only positions I took.
All right. So now let me tell you. At third base, did you factor into the game? Did you get some throwouts or
I got
anything come your way?
I got one play.
Any assists or anything like that?
Yeah, it was runner on second base. Well, runners on first and second. It's a pass ball. James is pitching, and it's Liam gets it. It's on the backstop. He gets it, and he throws it to me. I'm at third base, and I get over toward farther away from the base. I bring it back, and I tag him up.
No, that was when Theo was pitching.
That was.
All right.
Thank you.
Good,
But
good,
that
good.
was really the only play I got. I
All right.
mean, one more.
What about
reason,
you?
The reason why that was the only play he got is because when I was pitching,
Nobody
no
called
hits
it.
allowed. No hits
Oh,
allowed.
is that your mantra? No hits. I'm in the game. Megatron's in the game. No hits allowed, guys. No hits. And
Yeah,
as a
Joe.
matter of fact,
Joe, why don't you call
Clark
me
did
champ?
say that you. I don't think anybody got a hit off you that day, did
No,
they?
just
No.
3 walks.
Somebody
You
got.
walked somebody?
I had to.
I didn't give up a hit either.
James, you walked somebody?
I'm sorry.
Get out.
Sorry.
I didn't give
Walking
up a hit
somebody.
either.
I mean,
I don't-
you don't walk anybody around here. You make them run.
I almost hit that.
Run back to the dugout. That's what we do. Don't stop here. Get out.
I didn't give up a hit.
You didn't do? Yeah, well,
It was the liner, but it's a fielder's choice, so it's
but
not a
I
hit.
do recall you did walk a play. You did walk a bat in your game.
Yes, you did. I was
Fine.
playing.
Yeah, it was,
All right, stay this way. Okay, now this is game 1. Where did you play? What was your spot?
Third base, then closed the game.
Third base and close the game. So you actually went in for Zach?
Yeah.
No, Zach.
I pitched the second game.
No, I got the second game. But in the first game, you were at third base.
Third base a lot. Whenever I was on the bench, James was there.
Oh, okay. So you guys were kind of like alternating. You were platooning. So do you know these guys live in the same building? I mean, I don't know if it's upstairs, downstairs, across the hall, but they live in the same building. The
It's
guys
upstairs,
that
downstairs.
play together live together. Well, not actually live together, but,
Oh, God.
they're right here.
Not
Stay this way.
today,
Stay this way.
boy.
Stay this way. Stay this way. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. Now, but that's interesting. I mean, did you guys grow up as best friends or something like that? Did you know each other prior to playing on the Eagles?
No.
Not at all.
All right, so see what we do. We bring families together. We bring community together, and you know that's what it's all about. It's all about competition, camaraderie, and community here with the Yorkville program, and we bring people together.
I didn't know a James until I met him.
No, but now.
You didn't even know a James? You didn't even know anybody with the name James?
Nope.
Not even Jesse James? Yeah, okay. He doesn't even know who Jesse James is.
No, but-
I'm talking about the biker.
Oh.
Not a clue.
No. The lawman?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, he doesn't know anything. But James, we're glad you guys are together. So anyway, now, all right, we're through with the first game.
Yeah,
You know that you're going into
The championship.
the championship. But now, did you feel better about yourselves because you finally passed the point in which you had trouble with the last 2 seasons?
No, not really.
You didn't feel better?
Not really, because
That's a ham.
I know we still have another game to go, and that's why I'm not trying to get too excited. Because if you get too excited, your focus is going to be off, and you're not going to be able to play as well.
We're going to talk about excitement when we talk in a minute when we talk about his pitching he pitched the 7th inning, and I've got to ask him a question. Let's see if he can plug into that. So James, here we go. It's the final game. Where did you play in the final game?
Third base and left field.
Third base and left field. Did you make any assists? Anything come your way?
There was no plays.
No plays. So that means
I think there was one, but you bobbled it.
No. It was a high throw by Liam.
High throw.
High throw. I couldn't jump that high.
The spirit of youth. I mean, he just said, these guys, hey, listen, they tell the truth. You bobbled the ball.
Hey, it was too high
Wait
for
a second.
me.
Wait a second. Bobblehead. He
But
bobbled the ball. Bobble. Okay.
It was a wild pitch, and the runner's coming.
Mr. Statistics, he knows everything.
It was too high, and he jumped and it hit off the tip.
Do you remember all that?
Yes.
The guy would have never been out.
I'll tell you what. Can you send that to me? I mean, being that you have a photographic memory, can you take that and send it to me?
Not.
Okay.
I can implant something into my brain.
Oh gosh, you guys are handballs. I
runner
don't know.
would have never
Thanksgiving
been-
is coming. All we need is to baste them up, and we can eat these guys.
Oh God, there's
all
too
right.
much stuff in.
Stay with me.
This.
Come this way. Slide this way. Stop sliding. You're trying to slide out of the focus.
You're out.
All right. Anyway, now guys are going.
Yeah.
Game. From what I understand, you guys were down.
Oh yeah.
In that final game, you were
down 3, going into the 4th inning.
Now somebody tell me that you got just a little apprehensive, a little nervous at that time. Tell me. I mean, you're down. The game is getting away from you.
Yeah. Everybody there was starting like saying we gotta come back. Let's heads in the game. Everybody helmets on. We're gonna rally. We're gonna come back. And then we scored 5 runs.
And what inning was that, James?
The 4th or the 5th.
4th or 5th. No, that's when I pulled the A-Rod. I kicked the ball out of the guy's out of third baseman's glove, and then Mike scored me with a double.
Yeah.
So actually, that started
that
the
was
whole
single.
the whole thing. So you guys, you like gained your momentum from that play. You think?
Yeah.
So,
I gained my moment.
Remember these Eagles.
Oh yeah, our 13 hitter Alex got the triple.
Oh, okay. See, we had to get a little bit. We have our statisticians back there. They're sending us in the plays and a couple of things that the guys are. So we had what happened again?
Alex, our 13 hitter, hit a triple.
Our second baseman / shortstop.
Second baseman / shortstop hits a triple.
And then he gets knocked in for the go-ahead run.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what inning was that in?
5th.
See, now, Clark, you got it wrong. You said it was the 6th inning. But then again, to your credit, you did say 5th or 6th. You couldn't remember. Okay. All right, so now.
Nobody cares we won.
Here we go. This is this guy. Your ham bone again. So here we go. All right. Now, it's the final inning. You're going into extra innings because you tied it up. So at the end of 6, it was tied up. You needed to go into extra innings. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes.
So that means you actually went ahead in the 7th because it was tied up in the 6th. You don't get to extra innings if you.
They were the home team.
They were the home. I think we had we had like a 4-run lead going into the 6th, and they came back and they 5-run. I don't remember. I think they tied it up and we had to go into extras.
Okay, so they did come back.
Yes.
All right, so they came back in the 6th. They tied it up. Now we're going into the 7th inning. You guys went ahead by what? How many runs?
5 again.
These guys have it all wrong. They've told you a completely different story.
Well,
Good.
It's a prefabrication, but you know what? The outcome, nonetheless, is still the same.
Wait.
We all win.
I have one of Zach's famous quotes.
What?
This is baseball. You can't change the play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Just
Yes,
in the
that's
interest
his
of
quote.
fairness, they were never winning until the 7th inning. They were losing 3-1.
What? Whoa.
They tied it up in the 4th or the 5th inning. It was 3-3.
Okay.
They scored 5 in the top of the 7th.
Yes, we
and
were up
then
by
Zach
5.
held them in the bottom of the 7th.
Okay, so here we go. Now we have the correct information. No problem. All right, so now the game is tied, 7th inning. You guys go up. They went up by
5 runs.
5 runs in the top of the 7th inning.
I'm getting a knot in my stomach.
All right. Do you think that you crushed this? That those 5 runs crushed the spirit of the other team, James? What do you think?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Not really. Not when they looked up on. Not when I was pitching and I looked down at their faces. They were like.
All right.
They were like
trying
mad.
to do it.
I
Now,
don't think they were crushed.
all right.
They were.
Take me through because they didn't score. So take me through the batters, the hit order. I know you come to the plate. Clark.
Against what I
Well,
faced.
here we go. Clark calls you in. He says, "Get ready." You warm up. You come to the mound. I understand your first.
2 batters were not the best.
Right. You walked your first batter, right?
Yes, and then I throw two balls into the next batter.
All right. So now you have runners on first and second.
Runner on first, and then
2-0
runner
count.
on first, 2-0 count. Clark comes out and he says, "Look, I'd hate to bring you out of this game, but if you're not going to throw strikes, I'm going to start warming somebody else up." And that boosted my courage even more.
All right. So is that the moment when?
That is the moment when
Did you stop? Somebody told me you had a moment with you and the Almighty. You start praying a little bit.
Yes, I remember this very well. I'm in my, take a deep breath, I step off, and I kind of crouch like a Japanese player would, like Ichiro does before he steps up. And I just pray. And then I get back onto the mound, and I throw 2 straight strikes, and
He
and then he
reached
swings
down into his soul. He bowed his head and he says, "I'm going to throw something that you've never seen before."
And guess what?
And
I
what
struck
did
out
you
the
do?
next 2 batters.
And you struck out the next 2 batters. That's what I'm talking about. That's called Eagle comeback. We can see from real high up. So whoever that person is upstairs, whoever you deem him to be, Zach looked down. He says, "Listen, I need you right now." And that eagle said, "Okay, caw-caw." It's flying around, coming down with the.
Right before.
What do we do with the talents? Just tell me what we do with the talents. We grab people, we snatch them, and that's what you did. So okay,
Well,
now finish it up.
actually,
Tell me.
before the game, I saw like a falcon or an
Did-
eagle
did he
just
really?
flying around.
See?
I saw it. Maybe some
Peregrine falcon.
They
It's
have
close
them
enough.
flying around
Close
here,
enough.
All
Close
right.
enough.
All right, so now here we go. The final batter, and we're gonna put it up. We're gonna show it to you guys right now. You're gonna put it up. Turn around. We're gonna put it up, guys. All right, here we go. And so, Zach, I have to say, when that leg kick came up, that was the highest I've ever seen you bring the leg up and you just bear down.
I went with such a bigger leg kick that I normally did, just to take deep breaths in between in my motion.
Okay.
That's really the only reason why.
And it seemed like, it worked because you threw a pitch on the outside, seen the ball coming, pitch was on the outside, and you forced the guy to hit it where we wanted him to hit the ball. He hit it to second base, however, your second baseman didn't feel the ball. Just so happened to get past.
He made a diving attempt, and it just by a couple of inches went under his glove. And then the outfielder, Sam, picks it up and throws it to second. There was a runner on first going to second, and we got him out, and Liam comes out, gives me a posy hug,
Well, it doesn't help. It helped a lot that Sam is also a pitcher, has a laser for an arm, and threw a perfect strike to second base to, game over. That was it.
And then also,
another moment.
At the celebration after, we were having pizza at Patsy's. And it was really awesome. And when everybody was almost gone, Liam stayed, and you know what he told me?
What?
I would be dead right now if I didn't have the knee savers on.
The knee savers.
On the back of the catcher's
Oh,
gear.
yeah, okay.
I was taking such long deep breaths, he probably would have died if he didn't know. He told me that at the celebration.
So here we go. We have our first win. You can see the guys up there now. They're all over the field. They're piling on each other. You think they were, I don't know, you think they were having fun or something like that.
You were.
You were. And so in the end, just tell me you're champions now. I have to change you guys' name. Your name is no longer James. Your name is no longer Zach.
I'm champ. He's Mega Storm or whatever.
Mega champ or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But they're both champs. So when you see these guys in the street, you see
Congratulate
them,
us.
You know, you don't even have to congratulate them. Just
Say
bow
hi.
down.
Say hi.
Champ. Just say champ. That's it.
No, bow down to us. Bow
No,
down.
bow
to us.
down, bow
Bow
down,
to us.
bow down. So now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a word. You give me I'll say something. You give me one word answer. Right.
Done.
All right.
Right.
Best player.
Me.
Best pitcher.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Okay. All right. Biggest fan.
Me.
All right. Worst fan.
You.
Okay. All right.
No, not you. Not you. Not you.
These guys are hilarious.
Maybe the other coach.
Maybe the other coach. Okay.
Any more? Or
Happiest feeling.
awesomeness.
Okay. If you had one person in which you want to say "I told you so," who would it be?
Let me think here.
I know an answer for this.
So,
My mother.
Oh.
I want.
All right.
Let me see. I want to do this too.
10 seconds.
Okay. I got this. I want to do this to my soccer team. I told you so!
All right.
Yeah, Mom.
Anyway, guys, listen up. Again, for everybody in Yorkville land, and on behalf of me, because I'm your biggest fan. I'm you guys' biggest fan. I mean, I don't know if you know that, but I really am. I root for you guys all the time. And I root for all of the Yorkville teams, all of our travel teams, all of our programs, but I really root for you guys because I watched you grow up. It seems like you guys came as little embryos, and now you're people, little people. We're gonna call these guys man-childs. That's what they are. So on behalf of everybody out there in Yorkville land, we want to congratulate the entire 9U team. We have James Winston and Zak Newman over here, whose their families graciously brought them in to share this moment with you. We know we went long, but you know this is a championship. That's what we do at the championship. This is probably an hour. So on behalf of everybody, we want to thank you for watching and thank them.
Wait.
You want to close out with something?
wait,
I know we're falling apart. Don't worry.
Let's clap for the audience,
thanks.
Joe Patrick, and our coaches, Clark and Hayes. Round of applause, everybody.
All right.
Ending awesomeness.
And the whole team.
Yeah, the whole team.
The whole team, including
Come on, tell me who the team is.
All right.
Justin,
Sam,
Mikey,
Liam, you, me,
James,
Matt,
Will,
Theo, Alex, Eric, Jesse, let me see,
Ryan.
And guys, before we close this out, who do you really want to thank the most? Come on, guys.
You guys, the parents
wanna-
that are out of the screenshot. Get in here. Get on it out. Get in here. Get on it out.
Come this way.
Get in here.
Come this way and
My
stand
dad,
behind them.
my dad.
All right.
Dad, come on.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
These are two of the Mr. Winston and Mr. Newman. These are the two of the guys that
Paul
make
and Alan.
it happen. And I have to say, guys, you know, it's been, as I said, you are the best parents. I mean, your team. These guys and the rest of the parents, they keep these guys together. It's just a wonderful thing to watch you guys. And if you wanted to say something to all of Yorkville out there and your boys, come on, Mr. Newman, Mr. Winston, say something.
I just want to make sure that that everyone knows that it's a team effort,
Right.
and that we're glad that these two guys could be here, and we're sorry that the other 11 kids couldn't be. But it is a team effort, and that's really what makes Eagles 9U South so important. Is that we've got a bunch of parents who show up at every game, and the kids play their heart out at every game, and they work as a team. Paul?
Absolutely. You see us on the travel trips. It's one big dysfunctional family. But also, there's no way this could have happened. Our boys joked a little bit, pretended
really?
to show very little humility, but we're incredibly appreciative for Coach Joe, does this video program every week, Clark and Nick, the coaches who work very hard. J-Rod, who helps us, Jamie, who helps our kids, Arlene. And
all
the other
parents who come here.
All the parents who come. It really is a team effort. These guys couldn't have done it alone. We feel very blessed.
All right.
We are blessed.
Well, there you have it, guys. And if you want to find out more about the Yorkville programs, just click on the yyaa.org. Find the program of your choice and sign on up. We have basketball coming up. We have our Turkey Bowl that's going to be on the 22nd, so come out to Randall's Island and watch the games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, there you have it. Again, for Arlene Verger, our executive director, and everybody here at the Yorkville Youth Athletic Association and the Yorkville Baseball Academy, I'm Joe, and we're out of here. Eagles on 3. 1, 2, 3. Eagles! All right.
Thanks, Joe.
All right.